Guys, welcome back to the channel. This is Modesty33 here, aka Chris with the C, back at you with another video. So you guys, this video is supposed to be an unboxing. It's long overdue. So I did want to show you the unboxing portion, but I wanted to preface it before you guys see that portion because they were filmed on completely different days. And there's quite a bit of time difference between the unboxing and now. So this is going to be an unboxing slash first impressions, but I'm going to show you guys the footage of the unboxing. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to do the full footage of the unboxing because it got corrupted. So pretty much at where it cut off was when I was trying to tell you guys the details of the bag and the other accessories I bought with it. So I will come back after the unboxing portion and show all that to you guys, and we'll get into my first impressions after this. There's no organization to the video, so let me just show you guys the bag. You'll see it in the thumbnail, but yes guys, you'll recognize the brand. It has finally happened to me. Picked up a bag from Hermes. So you'll probably, if you know anything about Hermes though, you'll know from the size of the box pretty much like what it is, because I've learned that now. So I actually have a few different things in here, but let's go ahead and start with the bag. And then one of the items is included with the bag. So this is the box right here, you guys. So you probably can guess what this item is if you know anything about you know how Hermes does their boxing for their particular bags and items. So yes, this can only mean one thing. All right, let's go ahead and do. So yeah, I picked this up earlier today. Again, today's Friday, January 6th. And so yeah, I just had to stop by the store and look at the item, and then I just pretty much decided I was gonna go for it. Oh my goodness, this like string is everywhere. We're keeping all the things because I feel like all of that is included with the price of what you pay for these bags. So here we go. It's quite a tiny box too. So, and it's got the little wrapping paper. So I just want to show you guys all the things. Again, this is my very first Hermes bag. It's not my first Hermes item. I bought a small leather good last year, and I've talked about that item before. It's a Bastia. But yeah, this is definitely the first bag. So, and this is the dust bag right here. So let's pull it out. And put the box over to the side. So it is in this bag here. Nice dust bag. It's very thick. Oh, see, I haven't seen it since this morning. So to reveal, oh gosh. So guys, this is it. This is her. This is the Hermes Picotin. I think it's Clemence. Okay guys, we're back. So you guys saw the unboxing of my newest bag, my newest member of my handbag family, my handbag collection, which is the Hermes Picotin Lock 18. Gold hardware, color is 88 graphite, leather is Tyrolean Maurice. So that might be something you've not heard of. We're going to talk about that. I do want to give a little bit of the backstory of me acquiring this bag before we get into that. So we'll go ahead and talk about that. So what's the backstory? So back in 2020, you guys, I started to really watch videos about this bag, fall in love with it. Originally, when I saw the bag, people unbox it back in those days, I really didn't like it. Something clicked probably December of 2020, and I started really liking this bag. So 2021, I probably did like a good amount of research, saw a lot of videos and comparisons. Mostly what I was trying to decide back in 2021 was whether I wanted the size 18 or the 22. If I didn't mention, this one is the 18. And so I watched a lot of comparison videos between the two sizes, and essentially I decided on the 18 because I felt like the capacity of the 18 was really good. And what a lot of people were saying is that since the leather a lot of times becomes very slouchy on these bags, because most of them are done in the Clemence leather, which is that softer grain, it is a bit more slouchy. And you see a lot of those bags on the resale market, like on Fashion File and other websites, and they look like, you know, they've been run over a few different times. So what people were saying, I think, was that with the 18, it was more likely to maintain more of its structure as opposed to the 22, since the 22 is bigger and it has more leather, which, you know, kind of makes sense if you think about it. So I decided on the 18. The capacity was good as far as the videos I've seen. So that was back in 2021. I think I did, no, I hadn't been in the Hermes store at that point. So in 2022, which was last year, I did go into the Hermes boutique. That was April of last year. And, you know, I met some very delightful people. I met a manager. He was very delightful. And I let him know what I was looking for, that I was interested in any of the Picotin lock bags. And he told me that, you know, they are few and far between, but they could put me on a wish list. So when they got one in, that I would be contacted. So I did get the name of a sales associate at the time. And I did give him like my wish list, which for me, my wish list was like, I wanted a gray bag. I wasn't necessarily like married to a certain gray, or like, you know, it had to be a certain type of gray. I'll tell you the grays that I was looking at. I was looking at a Tane. I was looking at a tube, which isn't necessarily, it's like a brown gray, but I did like a tube. I liked a Tane, I liked a tube, Grease Meyer. There's another Grease Asphalt is another one. Grease Meyer, Grease Asphalt, a Tane, a tube. Yeah, I think those were all the grays I was pretty much looking at, and I definitely wanted gold hardware. A lot of the videos I'd seen back in 2020, most of those Picotin lock bags were in the palladium hardware, but I really wanted gold. And I feel like around the 2020, 2021, 2021, 2022 period is when I was seeing a lot more of the Picotin lock bags and the gold hardware. So I'm sorry if you hear that. It's the gate to my apartment complex. I don't know what's going on, but yeah, that's the squeaking noise if you're hearing that. But yeah, you guys, so I saw that there were more of them coming out in the gold hardware. So that's what I really wanted. I wanted, you know, a really nice, you know, even though it was going to be, I knew it was a casual bag, I still wanted it with the gold hardware. So that's kind of what I had put in my wish list for back in April of last year. I checked in with the sales associate for a few months after that. He told me he hadn't heard anything about any Picotin locks coming in. He would let me know, do you want anything else? I didn't want anything else. So during that time, I would be on the website like nearly every day checking, and I never was able to catch any of the bag drops despite a million recommendations about getting on there in time. Yeah, like I would get there and it would be like a second too late. Cause I mean, guys, I work, like I don't have time to just be on the website like refreshing every 10 seconds. Like I don't have time for that. Like I tried to do that a few days and I feel like that really increases your anxiety. And so I remember calling the Hermes customer service, and they told me really my best bet was to get in good with an associate at the boutique, in my local boutique. And that was going to be an easier way to acquire a bag as opposed to going on the website, because things literally sell out within seconds on the website. So by the time you're seeing it, it's probably been gone for 2-3 minutes already, if not longer. But you know, the website is a little bit behind. So things can still show up on the website, even if it's been sold out for like an hour or more sometimes. So is what they were telling me. So, yeah, like pretty much I didn't get any call back last year about the Picotin lock or any of them coming in. So back in December of last year, and it was a little bit after Christmas because I was off of work that week, I said I was going to make it a point to go into the boutique to introduce myself to another associate or more associates or what have you, and just inquire if my name was still on the wish list, if they knew when any of these bags would be coming in, if they had any in the store. So I talked to, you know, a few sales associates, and they told me that that they did have like a 22 in the boutique earlier that day, but you know, that they were expecting more stock within the next few weeks. So they said, hey, expect a call in the next 2 weeks. And I was like, okay, cool. So I left the store. I kind of just thought, I was like, well, maybe they're just telling me this just so I could leave because they knew I wasn't going to buy anything that day. So I just kind of left. I didn't really think much about it. I still was going on the website, checking in and seeing if anything was, I could catch anything, which I never could catch anything. So it really was about 2 weeks later on January 5th, which today, again, that I'm filming this video, it is February 5th. So it's exactly a month. I think it was, January 5th. Yeah, it was January 5th. I got a text message. It was like nearly 5 p.m. in the afternoon. And it was like, hey, Crystal, this is so-and-so from the Hermes boutique. Hope you're well. I heard you were looking for a Picotin Lock 18. I was like, oh my gosh, like someone actually reached out to me. And so I texted her back immediately and I said, yes, thank you so much for reaching out. I have been looking for a Picotin Lock 18. So she sent me like essentially the stock photo of this bag. She said, hey, you know, we do have a Picotin Lock in the color 88 Graphite, gold hardware. And I was like, well, I've never really heard of the color. Like I've heard of the color graphite, but I didn't know what it looked like. So she told me it was a charcoal gray, or like a concrete gray, and yeah, then the gold hardware. So I was a little uncertain about it because I was like, well, I felt like I wanted a lighter gray, but guys, yeah, at that point I was like, oh yeah, can you please hold that for me? I'm gonna be into the store the next day and I'll look at it. And if you could put aside, you know, a twilly or a few twillies aside for me so I can, you know, look at those as well, that would be great. So she put the bag aside because she said, hey, yeah, you can come the next day, because it was already at the end of the day as far as the boutique, you know, being about to close. I was still at work, so I couldn't jet off and, you know, go look at it right then and there. So she said she was going to hold it for me for the next day. And I set a time to go into the store and look at it. So yeah, I went into the store to look at it. I pretty much knew, you guys, before going to the store that I was going to buy the bag though, because I had already gone on Samorga.com and bought the bag organizer for the Picotin Lock 18. So I pretty much knew I was going to walk out the store with the bag if, you know, again, it was still there when I got there. So I looked at it. She took it out of the box. I posed with it in the mirror for like, I don't know, maybe a minute, maybe 2 minutes. I looked at it and I was like, okay, I'm sold. And then the next thing we decided were like the twillies, which I probably spent more time looking at the twillies than the actual bag. I just didn't want to miss out on the opportunity, you guys, because when I looked at it, it was just very much a very beautiful bag. Like the gray with the gold was everything I thought it would be. Pretty much any bag that I see that's like a gray gold combination, I just absolutely love. It doesn't matter what the bag is. I just love the gray gold combination. So yeah, like I pretty much decided, yeah, I was gonna get the bag. Then we looked at some twillies. I did get 2 twillies. I'm gonna show you both. And I've got pictures of my bag with both of the twillies on. But today I'm kind of wearing something a bit loud. So I took, you know, my twilly that I had on there off because, yeah, we're gonna get into that with the first impressions. So this is the twilly that she picked out for me with this bag. Let me kind of show you, but I do have some pictures I'll be inserting as I'm talking so you guys can see, because I do have a picture of this twilly actually tied onto the bag. I really like this twilly on the bag because there's another twilly I like more for this bag that I did purchase, but I did get kind of sick of the twilly. I got kind of sick of that twilly, and then I put this one on and it just kind of toned it down a little bit. It just, I don't know, it did something for me. So I do really like this twilly with this bag, so I'm glad I did get this one. And again, I'll show you some pictures of it, you know, tied on the bag so you guys can see. But yeah, this is the one that she picked out. So pretty much it plays into like the muteness of the bag, because 88 Graphite, the combinations that kind of make up the color, it's made up of black, gray, and blue. So that's kind of the twilly that she picked out, because it's like a blue, but it also has like some hints of gray on some of the blue as well. So that's kind of, and then it's got the orange as well, which kind of brightens it up a little bit. So like a hint of color. So that's kind of what she picked out. And again, I have been wearing that twilly on the bag. But the one that I picked out, which I really liked, especially going into spring, which we will be in soon here in Houston, is this one right here. So this is the one that I picked out for the bag. I don't know, it was just calling to me, and I really loved all the colors in this twilly. So this one's got like gold, it's got hot pink, like a fuchsia pink. It's also got gold and gray, like the gray portions are on the side here. So yeah, to me, it just was a very beautiful twilly, and it really brought out a lot of, I don't know, just kind of made the bag like a little bit, gave it more personality, so to speak, made it a little bit brighter. So it's like when I want the bag to have more personality, like, yeah, I'll wear this twilly. When I want to be more understated, I wear like this twilly. So I like both of them. I really do. So yeah, I think they really complement the bag differently. So yes, I really am glad I got both of those twillies. So yeah, I've had this bag for a little over a month now. Well, exactly a month. So yeah, again, I did purchase it on, I think it was January 5th is when, yeah, I did go into the store to purchase the bag, and then I first wore it out on January 6th. So yeah, tomorrow actually makes a month, actually a month straight. I have not switched into any other bag in the past month. So yeah, a month straight of me wearing this bag out. And so we're gonna go ahead and get into, I'm gonna talk about the price, and then also want to get into like my first impressions of the bag. So I don't mind talking about price because, guys, it's my money at the end of the day. So the Rakuten Lock 18, the leather is the Maurice Trillian. The color again is 88 graphite. This does retail for $29.50. So a little bit under 3,000. But if you do go, like go on the website when they do have the backdrops, you'll actually see some that are a bit cheaper, because what kind of put this bag up a little bit more in cost was the Maurice Trillian leather, which is a more structured leather from the Clemence leather. So I think I did talk about that, but if you want a little bit more information about the Maurice Trillian leather, let me know. I'm happy to share that with you if I haven't already. I filmed this a few times, so I don't really remember if I talked about it already. But essentially, the Maurice Trillian, I'm not going to read the description again, but it is a more structured leather than the Clemence. Clemence has bigger grains and it's a bit more softer, but the Maurice Trillian actually allows this bag to be more structured, and the grains are smaller, if you guys can kind of see. So I didn't even know that before buying the bag. I just noticed that it was a bit more structured than what I thought it was gonna be. And it's because, yeah, it's not actually in Clemence leather, it's in the Maurice Trillian, which is more structured. Again, this was introduced into Hermes collections in 2017, so it still is a fairly newer leather as far as this, as far as the Rakuten Lock 18. So it does, again, put up the price a little bit, but I'm more than happy to pay for a more structured Rakuten Lock 18. So I don't know if this bag is going to get slouchy, very slouchy, like a lot of the other ones that you see on the secondhand market. Hopefully not, but even if it does, I still have the organizer. I'm prepared for that. We're not gonna do like a what's in my bag in this video. I'm gonna save that for another video. So I'm just gonna talk about like what I've noticed, pros and cons of wearing this bag for the past month of me owning it. So let's start with the cons so we can end with like, you know, the awesomeness. So one con, I would say, what is a con? I'm gonna talk about the cons in general, because for me, none of the cons are really that big of a deal for me. I thought actually they would be a bigger deal, but they really aren't. So one con would be that, again, it is a bucket style bag, so you don't have a lot of security. You kind of see my items in here, but what I've been kind of doing is, you see this right here is actually the dust bag that this bag came in. So when I put all my stuff on top, a lot of times I'll just slide this in here on top so you don't see my items. Like, you know, if I'm just setting the bag down somewhere, you won't actually see the items because I'll just have the dust bag over on top. So that's kind of one way I've been, you know, kind of securing, so to speak, my items in the bag so they're not like easily seen by other people if I have this bag out in public, which I have had it out in public because I've been wearing it the past month. The other con I would say would be like getting in and out of the bag, but that's not actually a big deal as I thought it was gonna be because of this little piece in the middle. So it is a bucket bag, but it does have this like piece in the middle where it kind of obstructs, you know, when you put your hand in to get things in and out of the bag. But I just pull on it and do this, and I just grab items if I can't just reach in through the sides to get the items. And that's been working out for me. So it's really not been a big deal to get in and out of the bag, personally. So yeah, like that hasn't been a big deal. You can only wear the bag on like a few different ways since it is the size 18, that's pretty much the smallest size. So you can only wear it top handle or crook of the arm. So it's not necessarily an ideal bag if you're going to the park or you're going to be active in some way, or even maybe grocery shopping. Even though I do grocery shop with this bag, I grocery shopped earlier with this bag and it's not a problem. I thought it would be a problem, but it's really not a problem. Initially when I got this bag, I felt like, oh man, it's a little heavy without anything in it, but it's really just because I needed to get used to the weight. I haven't really carried a bag exclusively like crook of the arm or top handle. And after 2 days, I didn't even notice it. Like the bag just feels super light to me. I could carry it like this for quite a long period of time and it's of no consequence. So, yeah, that was maybe a con, or I thought it was going to be a con, or it was going to bother me, and it doesn't. The other thing is that this bag pretty much needs a bag organizer. So, yeah, it is unlined on the interior. So it is highly advisable that you do get a bag organizer. However, I just got this organizer from Samorga, like, not even a week ago, and I've had this bag again for the past month, and I wore the bag pretty much as soon as I unboxed it and showed you guys that clip that you see before, with no organizer, and it was absolutely fine. So yeah, like I just was really careful, but I do like the organizer that I got from Samorga because it just gives the bag even more structure than what it already had. It removes any of the lumps and bumps that I was seeing like from the side when I put certain items in. So yeah, I do really like the organizer within this bag, but you really need to have an organizer inside to keep the interior nice and clean. So that's another kind of, I guess, like con, I would say. Those are all the cons, but they're not really cons to me. I thought they would be cons, but I really quickly acclimated myself to this bag. So it's not really a con. I've gotten used to all those things, so they don't bother me at all. So I would say the pros of the bag. What are the pros? It's just very carefree to me. I really love the fact that it is the Maurice Trillion, so it is more of a structured bag, so it keeps its shape. Yeah, even the handles, they still stand up. I thought that was just because the bag was new, but again, has to do with the actual leather of this bag. Even when the handles do slump, or, you know, when they start getting more soft and they do slump, that's still, I mean, it is what it is. I expected that, so that doesn't really bother me, but yeah, I do like it's a structured bag. I do like that it's not heavy when I do carry the crook of my arm, even when grocery shopping or doing other things. None of my items have really fallen out, so I don't worry about, you know, my items just like falling or whatever. And part of that too is like wearing something like this or putting something like this over my items as well. I feel like it's a good price point for what you're getting. You know, as far as like an entry level Hermes bag. So if you're looking for a Hermes bag, don't just think Birkin, Kelly, Constance as far as the quota bags. This is something that you can acquire or get without having to do necessarily a pre-spend, depending on where you are. This bag is starting to get more popular, so some places may have a pre-spend in order to acquire this bag, but my boutique and store does not have that here in Houston. It's just very difficult to get because it is in demand and there is a leather shortage, or so what they told me anyway. So yeah, like as the bag grows in popularity, it may become more difficult to acquire, but you don't need a pre-spend to acquire, such as what you would need for a Constance Kelly or Birkin. This bag, again, is under 3K, so it is considered like an entry-level Hermes bag. So other bags would be like the Eveline, the Eveline, the Her bag, and the Garden Party are also considered like these entry-level bags that are, again, under the 3K mark. So I really like that. I think it's a nice quality bag for the price. I definitely see having this in my collection a very long time. I'm very happy that this was my very first Hermes bag. I was a little concerned the day after I got it because I felt like, oh my God, is it too small against my body? I got over it. I did email or text my sales associate, and she probably thought I was tripping because I was like, oh, do you guys have a 22? Because I don't know, I think the 18 might be a bit small, and she said they didn't. So I sat with it for a few more days, and I absolutely love the size 18. I think it has a big capacity. I'm going to talk about that in the What's in My Bag video that I'm going to film after this. It has a very big capacity. You can fit pretty much all of your daily items, depending on what you carry throughout the day. In a size 18, I don't feel like it's a micro bag or it's not a practical day-to-day bag. Again, depending on what you carry. So I just think it carries a lot, in my opinion. And I think it does look good against the body, depending on your body type. But spoiler alert, you guys, I am on the waiting list for a size 22. I don't know. I really love this bag. And yeah, I definitely see why people have both sizes. I see why people have more colors. I absolutely adore this bag. I don't want to switch into any other bag in my collection, honestly. If I did switch into another bag, we'll talk about that in another video. Yeah, I don't want to get into all that, but I don't want to switch into another bag. I just want to carry this bag, I don't know, until I get absolutely sick of it. So I don't know when that's going to be. But yeah, like I absolutely love this bag. I think it has significantly more pros than cons. And that's my first impression, you guys. I've carried it for a month now. It's very easy to carry. It's very lightweight. It is very easy to use. All the things I thought were going to bother me don't bother me. And it's easy to match with a lot of stuff. I'm going to, again, insert a lot of pictures of outfits I've worn with this bag, and you'll see all the different ways in which I've worn it. And yeah, so that's pretty much it. If you guys have any questions, let me know below. But yeah, that's the newest member of the family. My first Hermes bag is a Picotin Lock 18, color 88 graphite, gold hardware, Maurice Taurean is the leather. So again, guys, if you like this video, give this video a thumbs up. Make sure you share it with anyone else who likes this type of content. And before you leave, make sure you subscribe to the channel. You do that by hitting the red button below and the bell next to it, so you're notified when I do upload future videos. Again, guys, thank you so much for watching. I will see you in my very next video. Bye, guys.